Cord looks to be okay. Kind of looks original. I'm not sure though. Don't know old cords that well. Never seen a connector like that before. That's different. I like how it's 90 degree though. You know, sitting next to the wall. The case is kind of scratched. I wiped it down with the Clorox on white. Having COVID-19 problems now. I don't feel like a turn off. I don't know this very well. I got it like this. The clock is not sitting in here correctly. Kind of banging around in there. Hoping to fix it. I think there was an emblem right here that glued on. The bezels are, I know they're supposed to be bright, like gold or brass colored, and they're really dim. I don't know if I'm going to do anything about that. We'll see. I haven't looked at the bottom of it yet, so I have to be careful, I guess. So let's tip it up on... I see tubes in there. Let's tip it up on this end. Oh yeah. It's a Philco. Is there a model number on that? Model 53702. I don't know if you can see that. 53702. 30 watts? 30 watts. It's amazing that's still on the bottom of there. I suppose, oh, case is cracked right here where that screw is. See, there's no washer on it. That one looks like original. This one looks like somebody replaced it. So far, that's the only crack I've seen in the whole thing so far. It's not too bad a shape. I don't think it's Bakelite. I think it's plastic. Pretty sure it's just plastic. So what do I need to get this out? Looks like those two screws right there. I really don't have... Got my little crescent wrench I've had since I was a long time ago. Don't know where I got it either. More junk. Some things people do, you know. Never quite understood. some sort of headphone jack here. I think I'm going to have to undo that to get the back off. And the antenna is soldered. There are parts floating around back in here too. But it looks like the clock does unplug from the chassis of the radio. And it looks like all the tubes are in there, but we'll have to take a look. Not sure how I'm going to proceed right at this second. I think probably take the screws out and pull the chassis out. That means I got to take the knobs off the front. Can we get these parts out? I'm assuming they're spacers for the clock. Mounting. But they could have been spacers on those screws I just removed. Yep, they're spacers on the screws I just removed. So they go with these screws. Hand turned wood. Need a guy working on the lathe to make that, huh? I'll put those back out of the way. Let's get the knobs off, I guess. Hopefully they just pull off, right? I don't see any set screws on them. The tuning dial turns, or the tuning indicator dial. It moves. Knob came right off. It's all metal back here, no plastic around it. I'll have to clean those up eventually, maybe. We can make the radio work. Look at that, they just slide right off. Wow. I guess I was wrong. There's plastic on the inside with the metal around the outside of it. Pretty thin plastic. Surprised that isn't broke. Where's that first screw? Right there. Guess I should have gotten my socket set out, huh? Let me go grab it. Let's see. See how easy these turn. Turn pretty easy. I've never worked on a clock radio before. Yeah, I like that one with the washer built into it. Oh yeah, it's going to be way over here, isn't it? Because the chassis is. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. There it is. Maybe the washer just fell off. Oh, that's got a screwdriver slot. That other one doesn't. Yeah, no screwdriver slot. Should just slide out. Yep. Let's unplug the clock. The clock is unplugged. I like how they cut the bottom of this out so you can kind of mess around with the cord too much. Oh, it's got really small tubes in it. 5304 or 53702. Oh, it's got a little shield on the bottom. Look at that. That's interesting, huh? Let's get the clock out of here too, I guess. Can I just slide it out? See something? Leave that in there. Piece of cardboard, old school. What is that? I'm getting sick of holding that. Something in there. Besides the cardboard and the... It's a packing peanut. Looks like the cardboard around the glass is coming off too a little bit. Shouldn't be that big a deal. I think it's like a shroud if there's a backlight possibly in that clock to keep it from shining around in there. And look, the mounting for the... I don't know if you can see that, but the little standoffs in there that mount the light, or mount the clock, they're all broken, every one of them. Don't know how I'm gonna fix that. Well, I guess before I jump too far, I'd look at how it's mounted, but it looks like the mounting holders in there are, I don't know if you can see it. See how they're all broken? Let's take a look. They're all broken and see how the cardboard's coming off too. Deal with that later. Let's get that out of the way. Let's take a look at this real quick. Speaker's in fairly good shape. The center, like the seal, the cone seal, or it's falling apart. It's just a piece of felt. I probably won't mess with it. can see they didn't make a connector for this. It's part of the radio. You have to desolder it. I don't know what the deal is, why they do that. Headphone jack. I didn't think this had a headphone jack. I'll have to find some schematics for this online. Oh, yeah. That light bulb looks bad. I wonder if that's a 47? $47. I do have a new one of those. I do have a new 47, so they're not hard to come by. So I guess we stand it up on this end. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tube radio. 2, 4, 5. 5 tubes. See if we can get a shot of the not sure about that. The old domino and the dial string is there and works. It's actually not real dirty in here. It's a little dirty, but not bad. And there's a tuning condenser. Doesn't look bent. There's a transformer. Let's turn it. Be careful here, I don't want to poke a hole in that speaker. Let's see if we can't tip it up. Is it going to stand? Yeah, not bad. So little mini tubes. Philco. It's like an original tube. IF cans. This is a dual band radio. They call it, on the switch in the back it says special. We'll investigate that later. Let's see the bottom side, huh? Let's take a look and see what we got going on in here. Duplo. Little transformer or coil. What's hiding under here? I wonder where they did that. It's a waxy and a waxy. Gumdrop, gumdrop. Duplo or whatever they, I don't know. There's multi-function integrated, the first integrated circuits really. That's what I've seen and heard. Let's get a look in here. The wires to those condensers don't look good. to the transformers. Oh, they're solder on. They don't go up inside there, so they're easy to change. Let's see, are they really super hard? Yep, hard as a rock. Yeah, I don't want to do rewiring in this. This thing's probably asbestos, huh? They made everything out of asbestos back then. What the heck is in there? Like a big resistor, maybe. One, two. Is that a multi? Yeah, look at how many electrolytics are in that. 240s. Wait. 4 electrolytics in that. There's 240s and 220s. That really doesn't seem like something they would do from the factory, but maybe so. There's a standoff in there. It's pretty clean. Still no on off. I wonder if it's in the clock controls. Huh. That's just the volume. See, there's no switch on the back. No power cord comes in here. So you can plug something else into it. And goes to the clock plug. Yep. Yep, the switch is in the clock to turn this on and off. What is that? A .03 600 volt plastic capacitor. It's probably got wax paper in it. I don't know if they made these back. It's a Sprague. Yeah. Might leave those in there just to see how it runs and change these and this. Try not to mess with that wiring unless I have to. There's some cloth wiring here, but I think this is that old rubber stuff that gets hard. That domino goes to ground. I think that's some tantalum. Yeah. Maybe look at the clock, huh? We'll leave that on it since we have more room on the bench. Let's bring the clock over here. Ooh. Yeah, looks like the clock popped in with pins. Look like some sort of pin. Oh. They're like drywall anchors, maybe. You tighten them down and they expand. Yep. Two of them are missing. Yep, there's your on-off switch. Yep. So, auto, off, and on. delay and off. I don't know what that delay and off, I don't know. This is alarm. Push for off, pull for on. Huh. Alright, so the on-off switch. What is supposed to hold that in place? There we go. Okay. So it's a little micro switch for the on-off. So that's the on position right there. You can actually see the contacts right in there. It's like an old set of contacts out of a... And when you turn it to on, it flips that cam. That's pretty wild. And the adjustment knob is bent, of course. That's going to be a bugger to bend back. So this just runs right off of AC. That don't look good. But it's just a paper cover, so maybe it's okay. I guess we could check the windings with an ohm meter. I don't know what it's supposed to be. It keeps falling out of there. So the motor shaft, let's see, where's an easy way to get to it? Right there. Ooh, it don't want to turn. we use the cheap meter. Higher than 200 ohms. Almost 589. 588. Don't know what it's supposed to be. Suppose we could see if that switch works. The on-off switch. I guess that's kind of important that would work. Oh, let's see. We'll use these, I guess. There should be another one here. So those two look like they're the power wires. Maybe that clock does not. Maybe that clock does run on DC. I see the power wires coming from the plug. So it could go through the rectifier and with that electrolytic back. I'm going to have to get a wiring diagram to make sure of that. But the two bigger leads are the on-off. I can see how that got bent. And the two bigger leads are these two. Of course, they're not going to stay on there, are they? I'm going to end up fighting this, I can tell already. Alright, so it's open. And when you flip it, it trips this cam. Looks like it's working, so let's trip the... Yep. Switch contacts are okay. Just how are you going to mount that clock back into that broken radio case? With two of the things missing. This might be a lost cause. I don't know. Wish I could have got one in better shape, but I got it for free, so. Let's leave that out for right now. We can do some continuity checking on the radio itself. Frustrating that people mess with stuff they don't know what they're doing. Well, I'm one though too. I don't have the knobs for this either. These three knobs didn't come with it. I was hoping they were in the case somewhere, but they're not. You can really see how bad that's bent. That is really bent. The mechanism feels really hard. Telecron. Made by Telecron. That motor should spin and turn the second hand. Everything moves with the time adjustment. And when you pull the alarm, another set of contacts, open contact. This is probably have power to it the whole time. You can see it move. You can see it move this. So that turns this inner dial for your alarm. Let's try turning that motor one more time. Just will not turn. I don't have patience for crap like that, but I guess I'm gonna have to learn some if I want to fix that. I guess it ain't worth fixing unless she can mount it back into the radio somehow. And I could see how those things got busted with these things that expand, like frickin' wall anchors or concrete anchors. The more you tighten it, the more it expands out into the hole and holds it. Not sure. I'm gonna find a wiring diagram, I think. Figure a few things out. Check the filament string. Make sure all of the heater filaments are okay in the tubes. I don't own a tube checker, or tube tester, so not sure. It is a Philco, so it should sound good. I don't know. It's a pretty small speaker. Clock radio. 53. I wonder if that's the year. That model number on the case, 53702. I wonder if that's the year. 53702. I'll see if I can find a wiring diagram. It's probably a Ryder's. It's probably the only place I'm going to find it. Philco. I'll do a search.